The way of the servant, afterwards. Now is the end come. We are returned to the ancient beginning. Here, where truth is restored, we look with gentleness upon the world. You are here only to be truly helpful, yet you do not know what needs to be done. Would you know your Father's will for you? Precious friend, open the eyes of yourself. It will not be hidden from you. Where does a servant go awakened to the eternal? Here comes a quiet reply. Because you are awake here, and your sister is awake here. Though bodies are seemingly separate, there is not two, but one. Pray, fast, meditate, journey into the silent places of your precious earth, for she alone is your mother. Sing, laugh, dance, play. Drink the first rays of a new dawn, touch the dark velvet of a moonless night, feel the grass beneath your skin, and stand beneath the cascading waterfall. Give but one day of your week to silence, eating only the light from your Father. Smile often, and remember, you have chosen to come here. Look around you and bless the place you are. Do these things often in remembrance of me. I am with you always. Epilogue. Love, it does run on every breath we breathe, and over the course of this experience with Jeshua, I have learned that love does desire to be heard with every single spoken word. Jeshua is a master of it, but his mastery does not place him above us. He will wait patiently, perhaps perceived as a little ahead of us, until we recognize that what awaits us, what has always awaited us, is the choice for love. It is a choice in which all other options collapse. A choice which, in the final analysis, is actually revealed to our awakened minds as the choiceless choice. Has there ever been any other viable option? Love can seem so frightening. It requires a deep recognition that the past is passed away. It requires that we come home to this present moment, relinquishing our need to be right, our penchant for blaming above all, claiming complete responsibility for everything we think, feel, say, and do. It also must come to mean that we accept responsibility for the world we see. If the world isn't changing, we must not be changing. The spoken word, not merely verbal communication, for we are the thought of love and form. Our every gesture, then, speaks to the world of what we are choosing to lay up as our treasure. But more than this, our every gesture speaks also to us, whispering what our choice has been and offering the perfect freedom to choose again. Together we stand now on the threshold of something new, something unparalleled, at least in known history. The pulse of change is everywhere felt. Technology is making the world a very small place indeed. In an instant, the experience of a brother or sister living on the other side of the globe is brought into our living room, their voices compelling us to stretch our hearts wide, to accept them too as true family. Can we love enough? No, I think not, but thank God, love itself is enough. For surely God is love, waiting on our welcome. In nearly 20 years, as this pathway we now call the way of mastery has unfolded under his meticulous guidance, I have seen time and time again the undeniable truth that there really is no order of difficulty in the miracles love can bring forth. When we simply join our hearts and hands and offer love the tiny bit of willingness it takes to suspend our judgment and learn anew. Oh yes, love is enough. Beneath every denied feeling, beneath every anger and hurt we cling to, love waits to heal us so deeply that it seems the problem was never there, as though we slept for a while and dreamt dreams of loss, of weakness, of unworthiness, guilt, shame, unreality. What joy to awaken! We are awakening. We, you and I and everyone, have been together as long a time has been. We have dreamt together every dream unlike love, and the choiceless choice comes to present itself yet again. We are the makers of the world we see, and this recognition can seem to paralyze us, depress us, or immobilize us, until we realize that it is only an expression of the thoughts we have insisted on maintaining as real. We are free now, free to choose again. Jeshua has been an enigma for 2,000 years. That is a long time to be famous, especially without building an empire, writing any books, or being allowed as a subject of study in public schools. The guy doesn't have any movie credits to his name, nor did he ever invent anything. But he did accept the choiceless choice to live the reality of love. And that has made all the difference for him, and for everyone who has ever opened their hearts just a little bit to him. He has often said that he has waited long for this time to be present on the earth, a time when a timeless truth can be breathed as an idea into minds and hearts and spread rapidly and completely around the world. I say breathed because the time for dogma, for preaching is behind us. To breathe the truth first requires that we take it deeply into ourselves, literally with every breath. Then offer it to whoever is in front of us, literally with each outward breath, as though bathing them in what is beyond words. We can invite them in an atmosphere of safety to breathe with us. It can become a circle, a dance of receiving and giving, giving and receiving. Are we willing to initiate such sharing? When we make the choiceless choice for love, right here and right now, wherever we are, we join with all others all over the world who are also choosing to awaken. Our every loving gesture literally uplifts the world because it must necessarily affect the collective mind of mankind. One of my favorite quotes is from a Jewish teacher, Maimonides. What he asks is perhaps the only question we need answer. While it points to our responsibility, it also points to the immeasurable power that lies equally within each one of us and will shine forth as we unlearn our fear of it. The question is this: if not now, when? If not you, who? With Jeshua as a loving brother and guide, we have learned that choiceless choice is the inevitable recognition that the when is now and the who is us. We have learned that awakening is not about some ephemeral aloofness masquerading as transcendence, in which every challenge and every unwanted feeling is explained away as an illusion. Rather, awakening is a correction, a wiping clean of the slate of learned perception, so that life, which is but love extending itself to embrace creation, can finally be lived and not merely survived. It is not an end, but a beginning. My friend Michael Stillwater calls it landing with your feet on the planet. Beam me up, Scotty, is not what our gentle brother teaches nor lives for. Love does not seek escape, but serves. While the ego cries out, "But what is in it for me?" the awakened heart simply says, "How can I help?" Then let's love be the guide. Alan Cohen wrote that Jeshua would probably agree that we have had enough students and it is time for more masters. I wholeheartedly agree. He is never asked to be worshipped, only to be joined. Love will prevail in the end, if only because it requires great energy to resist it, and that resistance will finally exhaust itself. We learn either through joy or through pain, but we will learn. The direction of the wise choice seems obvious enough. Jeshua once stopped me in my tracks by saying that the truth of the world are diametrically opposed to the reality of the kingdom. That means that everything we have been taught is the exact opposite of what is real. The world has taught us that we must know where we are going before starting the journey. We must know what we are going to get, how it is going to affect us, and then decide whether or not to launch our ship. We need to make sure we have our parachutes in order before we jump, but exactly the opposite is true. I believe in you. I believe that you are intimately united with the source of life, and that life longs to be lived through you. That you have every right to set aside the ways of the world where the laws of chaos, distrust, and fear seem to rule. If you jump, you will find your parachute. To all of you who have jumped, and to the growing numbers of us who are now moving to the edge, I extend our gratitude to you for being willing to join with everyone now choosing to bring heaven to earth. Well there, now it is 5 a.m. I can crawl back under the covers. Something more needed to be shared to complete the book. I see now that Jeshua, throughout the way of the servant, was both correcting our collective misconceptions about who we really are, while also asking Mamada's question. A question waits on the answer, and I could not let this edition go to press without answering it. Here, then, is my final offering to you. May we join together to grow, heal, and push the limits of awakening. May we join to envision a planet healed and a humanity at peace, and to do all we can to share who we really are, radical, ecstatic spirit, together with what we can discover that is truly helpful with those who will be drawn to us. Heaven on earth. Jeshua refers to this as the Adamic process. Dam, in his native Aramaic language, refers to nature, or the body-mind itself. Pronounced Ah is the first letter of the name for God he used the most, Allah, and signifies the unlimited source we have come to call God. Thus A seeks to penetrate, suffuse, and move through Dam as it seeks in the great cycle of evolution to manifest what has not yet completed its full birthing. Adam, the first man of the Bible, for we are all part of this great birthing as the fullness of real humanity. Can there be a greater adventure? Can there be anything more worthy of our being? Streams of Joy, J.M., Easter 2006. A prayer of remembrance. Father, Mother God, source of our being, we are returned. Joining together, we celebrate the love that together we are. Where there has been an unreal world, we now give birth to a world atoned, that it may perfectly reflect what you have completed in us. Because we are made, even in this moment, in your image, our love is without ceasing, forever and ever and ever. Amen. End of chapter, end of book. The Way of the Servant, Living the Light of Christ, Enlightenment, the Final Stage, as given through JAM, has been brought to you by audioenlightenment.com. Copyright 2015, all rights reserved.